G'day everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action, back for a DVD and Blu-ray update. Got a small pile here to take a look at, so let's get into it. So the observant among you will have noticed that an August update for DVDs and Blu-rays didn't happen. Nothing really came. I mean, a handful of these things did, but it was mainly into early September when stuff was arriving. And it's not the gigantic piles you've seen before. Yeah, sure, it's not tiny, but, you know, I don't think this is going to be a 3 million year update. We'll try and keep it under 1 million years and just get into it. We've got a handful of DVDs at the top. The first one, I'm a sucker for this series. I haven't checked this new one out yet, but Sniper, Grit, Grit. I mean, probably a lot of you are like, they made more than one Sniper film? Yeah, they've made, this is probably like 7 or 8 now. I've kind of lost track. And obviously they've become these like direct-to-video things. And for me, they achieve exactly what I want. They're like these 90 minutes, modern, high-tech warfare, espionage, killing things, squibs, like all the stuff I want. You know, glimmers of Tom Berenger sometimes. You know, it's kind of been passed on though. Chad Michael Collins is, I think it's actually supposed to be the son of Tom Berenger's character. I think that's how it's meant to be. But anyway, I haven't checked this new one out. We'll read from the back. International terrorist cult, brilliant, right? Threatens global political stability and kidnaps a fellow agent, ace sniper Brandon Beckett. Chad Michael Collins, yeah, he is the son of the other Beckett. I can't remember his first name. Newly formed Global Response Intelligent Team, Grit. How good's that? Led by Colonel Stone, Dennis Haysbert, must travel across the world to Malta to infiltrate the cult, take out its leader, to free Lady Death, that's Luna Fujimoto, to stop the global threat. Ryan Robbins and Josh Brenner also star in this globe-trotting entry into the Sniper franchise. And 92 minutes. It's just these, you know, like everything that you've just read there will happen, and it's going to look like cheap, but like good cheap. And I'm there for it. These Sniper films are a load of fun, and yeah, Sniper Grit. Just keep churning them out, guys. I'm a fan. Got another Sci-Fi Channel one in, which was it was challenging. This was one of those ones where it's like, yeah, I could have imported this many times. Didn't want to pay those prices. Certainly not for like this C-level Sci-Fi Channel film. Somebody had it locally. Threw them a best offer that was quite ridiculously low, and they accepted it. So like for like $8 or something, I got the UK import of The Immortal Voyage of Captain Drake, which is sort of, when was this? Like 20, it says 2012 on the back here. Where is it on my shelf? Yeah, that's probably about right. It's probably about 2010, 11 filming, something like that. But anyway, Sci-Fi Channel film, The Pirate King. 1592, 4 years have passed since England defeated the Spanish Armada. The scars still show. But when a Syrian sultan tells Sir Francis Drake, the Pirate King, the location of the legendary Tree of Life, he finds himself in a furious race across foreign seas against not only his lifelong nemesis Captain Don Sandevote, okay, but against time itself as he desperately tries to reach the tree in time to save his daughter's life. Blah blah blah, whatever. But it's a Sci-Fi Pictures presents film. So got Adrian Paul in it. I guess that's that guy, I think, from memory, and Tamira Morrison, which is, I guess, that guy. And I know that name. I do know that name. What do I know him from? What do I know him from? Is he Tamira Morrison? Is he Once We're Warriors? Is he from that? Tamira. I don't know. Probably entirely wrong. But anyway, whatever. They got Sci-Fi Channel garbage, most likely, but I'll enjoy it. This one, the next two came from, there's a local seller on Australian eBay that seems to just be, over the years, just sort of dumping all of these Region 2 UK horror DVDs. Like, I've talked to him a few times. He said he had a ridiculous collection. He probably did. He also seems to have many, many multiples of the same thing, so maybe he was trying to import and resell at some point. I don't really know. But this one's been on my want list since I read it in, I think it was the Giallo scrapbook 20 years ago. Challenging to get. He had a copy, brand new and sealed. I'm stoked, actually. Fright Fest presents Eyes of Crystal. Eros. No, hang on. Fear is in the Eye of the Beholder. It's got another name. Which Oculi something. Of course, it's the English DVD, so they've not put it on here. But yeah, this is sort of a modern Giallo from, is it early 2000s or late 90s? It says 2006 on the back here. but yeah, not entirely sure. But it's a pretty modern one, but it is Italian film. So I've been always keen to check it out. A vicious serial killer on the loose, slaughtering with no mercy, but much macabre creativity. For the warped psychopath in removing different body parts on each victim, replacing them with a corresponding part from a life-size antique Italian doll. Total giallo right there. How good is this? Hard-bitten Inspector Giacomo Amaldi is convinced the assassin is gruesomely building the perfect mate. But as the bloody body count continues, he comes face to face with the shocking moral decay of his city, as well as the ghosts of his own grisly past. With his new girlfriend Guedita in mortal danger, can Amaldi fit the pieces of the terrifying puzzle together in time? Get it? Puzzle? Body puzzle? Get it? Good stuff. Nominated, best visual, blah, 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 whatever. The Eyes of Crystal, blah, 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 unquestionably best Italian horror thriller in years. Yeah. I was hoping they'd have the Italian name on the back, because it is something like, Oculi di Crystal or something like that. I don't know. Haven't popped it in yet. It doesn't say the language on the back. It just says 5.1 surround. I don't know if I'm going to get a dub or if I'm going to get subtitles in Italian. Really got not much on the back here, except it's got a making of. It does come in a slip, which is nice. Nothing too exciting. It's just the same deal again. And yeah, just the disc. So I think there's a German DVD as well. There's something else. But the UK one was the one that I was most aware of. And I'd seen that poster kicking around in magazines for quite some time. I've always been curious. So yeah, happy to pick this one up. Fright Fest presents Eyes of Crystal. Very good. And because I was there, and he had this as well, and I don't know what this is, but it is an Indonesian horror modern called Shackled. This was also new and sealed for just a few dollars. Out on, what is this label? It's Terracotta, who did that Mighty Bloody Bodybuilder release from a few years ago. Mighty Muscly Body, but whatever that thing was. The Evil Dead Japanese ripoff that they reassembled. Yeah, so there's Shackled as well. So this is an Indonesian one. Paranoid bartender haunted by visions of violent murders, a psycho killer in a rabbit costume, and a mysterious femme fatale. While he is tortured by these nightmares, there are killings going on in town. Could the killings be linked to his nightmares in this small town? Everyone is a suspect. Almost sounds giallo itself. I mean, there's some photos there. You may be able to see the rabbit. Some grisly-looking stuff going on there. So, yeah, I've got hopes for this one. This one does specifically say on the back it's in Indonesian language and is subtitled. 100 minutes and in scope. So I'm keen to check out Shackled. It did have some decent reviews. So, yeah, if you've seen this one, let me know. Right, that's the DVDs. We're going to the Blu-rays. So at my local Salvation Army thrift store, op shop, as we call them out here, somebody clearly dumped their entire collection of dad thriller Blu-rays. You know the ones I'm talking about? Those mid to late 90s, like Fugitive and all that kind of stuff. Those just big stars, Harrison Ford, whatever, trying to disable the ticking time bomb, all those kind of stuff. Dad thrillers, right? Somebody dumped a whole bunch of them, and I mean, I've always liked this shit. And some of these are DVD upgrades, some of these are filling holes I never had. And the first one, I watched it again last night. I haven't seen this since VHS. Outbreak. I mean, this sets the tone of everything I'm about to show you, right? Outbreak, Dustin Hoffman, and this really goes back. I mean, look, this is 1995. What would the cast for this kind of film look like now? It wouldn't have an old Dustin Hoffman in charge, would it? It'd have some 23-year-old guy that's going to be like fresh out of uni but save the world. Anyway, but this is really good. I really enjoyed this one again. I rewatched last night. Blah blah. It's Wolfgang Peterson. He did what says here, The Perfect Storm, Troy. He also did Das Boot. So proper films. Big excitement in this breathless techno thriller. Remember, everything was a techno thriller back in the late 90s? Dustin Hoffman plays a take-charge army virologist trying to stave off a global biological meltdown. A rare killer virus from the jungles of Zaire has taken hold of a California community. It knows no boundaries. Its mortality rate, 100%. And some say the only way to stop the spread is to firebomb the towns and everyone in it. Joining Hoffman is an elite ensemble, including Rene Russo, Morgan Freeman. He's got more than a bit part. It's a reasonable part. Cuba Gooding Jr. He's got a part. He's looking quite young. Patrick Dempsey, Donald Sutherland. He was good in this. Kevin Spacey before Sleaze times. He's looking very weird. He's got like blonde hair and stuff. Anyway, it's weird. Bringing their formidable talents to shocking, nail-biting tale of the day that could become doomsday. And then COVID happened 20 years later. And look, it's even got the monkey. So yeah, virus spreads from a monkey, blah, blah, humanity doomed. But yeah, really enjoyable. This is just total dad thriller stuff, and like there's no actual ticking bomb, but there are events that are essentially ticking bombs. So fantastic. Outbreak, enjoyed it. This one is actually a bit more early 2000s, might be like '05. Oh, it says '01. Okay, '01. It's essentially a '90s dad thriller, Heart's War. Quite underrated Bruce Willis film, this one, and Colin Farrell in the lead. Again, I rewatched it, really enjoyed. Colonel William McNamara, Bruce Willis, is stripped of his freedom in a German POW camp. He's determined to keep on fighting, even from behind enemy lines, enlisting the help of young Lieutenant Colin Farrell. Risks everything on a mission to free his men and change the outcome of the war. That's actually a load of crap. That's not really what happens in this film. Yes, it's a POW camp, and in like World War II, it's sort of towards the end. I think it's like 44 or something, 43. Like it's getting towards the end. Everyone's treated very hospitably, I've got to say. Like and there's this like military professionalism. Like every morning, all of the POWs are put out onto march. They're counted by the Germans. Bruce Willis as the colonel meets the German colonel. There's saluting. It's not all like being pushed around. I don't know if that was how it really was, but for a POW camp, it looked okay. I suppose I've been in worse motels. Anyway, what it's really about is Colin Farrell. His role in this film is he actually becomes like this, almost like a lawyer in the film. There's a few plots that happen. There's a bit of a espionage kind of undercurrent thing going on that I don't want to spoil too much. But he sort of there becomes this trial about that he is a lawyer in it, and Bruce Willis is playing almost a judge kind of character, and they're trying one of the other American soldiers who is a black man who's been thrown in with all of these white guys, and it's got its own racial tension business. There's a murder that happens in the POW camp. Gets accused of that. Colin Farrell is his defense. It's far different than you expect, but at the same time, there's some other plots going on that a bit more standard war film. So I think it's really good. I really enjoy it. But yeah, this stuff on the back is all kind of bollocks, really. So yeah, whatever. Heart's War, good stuff. Recommended if you've not seen that kind of thing. Haven't seen this yet, but I mean, it's peak dad thriller. Harrison Ford in Firewall, total dad thriller. It's an ordinary day at Landrock Pacific Bank. Ordinary for everyone but IT expert Jack Stanfield. His wife and children are held hostage at home. The kidnappers have one demand. Jack must heist $100 million from the ultra-secure system that he designed. They'll be watching every move he makes. That's a techno thriller. No idea. Paul Bettany. I recognise him, I think, but I don't recognise the name. Who else we got? It doesn't. I don't really recognise these names. Oh, Robert Patrick's in this. Okay, yeah, there's a little photo of Robert Patrick. Got the old Terminator 2 in here. Directed by Richard Lonicrane. I can't read that stupid font. But anyway, look, I reckon I'll be entertained by this one. And it's put me in a mood to get to fill some more gaps. I now have an incredibly cheap copy of Air Force One on the way, which I don't think I've ever seen. So, yep, get them Harrison Ford dad thriller Blu-rays. Beautiful. Firewall. This was a tidy upgrade. I had the DVD, but the Blu-ray is always challenging to find, and it was just there. Dante's Peak. Pierce Brosnan, Linda Hamilton. I mean, you don't have this kind of cast anymore. They just don't do these things. Without warning, day becomes night, air turns to fire, solid ground melts beneath the white-hot lava. From director Roger Donaldson comes an adrenaline-pumping adventure starring the aforementioned. Welcome to the town of Dante's Peak, where a long-dormant volcano is about to erupt with devastating force. Who will survive when the inferno unleashes its fury? The answer will leave you breathless. The special effects will blow you away. Get it? Because the volcano is going to blow away. Yep. Yep. It's been eons since I've seen it. It'll be good. I know it will be. It's just of that era. Like, this stuff was always entertaining. 1997. Some of it's got a bit of a nostalgic charm to me now. Like, it's they were doing these just big budget, I don't know, disaster things and dad thriller things, and it was almost the last hurrah of some of these sort of bigger name stars that you're like right now going, what the hell's Pierce Brosnan doing these? A lot of it was this this kind of thing. So yeah, Dante's Peak, cool. This was one of the first DVD. I got this DVD for free with my Toshiba SD 1200 DVD player back in 99 or 2000 or whatever. The DVD came free. You got 4 DVDs from, is this Warner? I can't remember. You got 4 DVDs for free, and this was one of them. Enemy of the State. Look how old this Blu-ray is. When are they doing this nonsense? Ooh, high definition. I saw this in the cinema. I got the DVD for free, and this was just at that. I liked this kind of stuff, particularly at the time. We'll read from the back. What year actually was this? Does it say? I don't know, but it comes from Jerry Bruckheimer's production company, so you kind of know what you're getting already. Hollywood superstars Will Smith and Gene Hackman trigger rapid-fire suspense in Enemy of the State on Blu-ray's high-definition disc. Ugh. Adventure heats up as this volatile new format explodes onto the screen. Volatile? Are we talking about the Blu-ray? Okay. After a Washington, D.C. attorney is given, without his knowledge, a video tying a top NSA official to a political murder, he finds himself targeted by a relentless team of lethal NSA surveillance operatives. Watches non-stop action meets cutting-edge technology in astounding 1080p. Oh my god. Hear the echo of every footstep in spectacularly enhanced audio. I'm glad they don't do that crap anymore. But yeah, Enemy of the State. It's got, Will Smith getting jiggy with Gene Hackman, run from, it's all that kind of stuff. I remember enjoying this one. Directed by Tony Scott. What's he done? I'm assuming I should know. It's got John Voight in it, and Jake Busey, the son of Crazy Busey. He was doing like Contact and stuff at this time. So yeah, I can't remember if this is like 98, 99 or whatever, but it's all around that time. Yeah, I remember it being quite entertaining. So Enemy of the State. This is one of those I remember when the DVD came out, didn't buy it. I remember when the Blu-ray came, it's very early Blu-ray came out. I didn't buy it. Never seen it. Really should see it. Postman, Kevin Costner. Don't know if it's before or after Waterworld, but here we are. The Postman. It's in. Let's read a bit in the front. It is 2013. War has crippled the Earth. Technology has been erased. Our only hope is an unlikely hero. Brilliant. No highways, no highways. What's an highway? Information superhighway. Christ. No dreams of a better tomorrow. Only scattered survivors across what was once the USA. Into this apocalyptic wasteland comes an enigmatic drifter with a mule, a knack for Shakespeare, and something yet undiscovered: the power to inspire hope. America. 2-time Academy Award winner Kevin Costner directs and plays a wayfarer in a world where might makes right, but destined to lead a heroic rebellion where right makes right. Sweeping battle scenes, breathtaking wilderness vistas, and touching moments of personal triumph combine to ensure the Postman delivers. Look, I'm sure it will deliver, and it'll deliver better than that blurb. But anyway, Kevin Costner directed and starring Kevin Costner, produced by Kevin Costner. This is going to be Waterworld 2, isn't it? We'll see. We will see. The Postman. And the one that I mentioned at the start, and I had this on DVD. I've seen it a million times. But this is one of those ones that I got the DVD in the way back times, I think. And it was just on TV all the time. So it became one of these, like, what's the point in upgrading this thing when you just got to turn on free to air on a Friday night? Oh, look, they're playing The Fugitive again. But look, the Blu-ray was there, and I have upgraded it. And then I watched it, and I went, man, this is such a good film. It really is a top-tier film. It is like the quintessential dad thriller. You've got Harrison Ford that's getting older, but he's not ancient. He's still running around. It's all, spies and you know what? Everyone knows this damn film. And I like how it's all set up in like the first 3 minutes at the start. Like it's all happy days for about 30 seconds. Then his wife's killed. Then he's on trial. Then he's in jail. Then he escapes in it's like 6 minutes done. And then we're just on the chase for the rest of the movie. Great. Movies like this now, Harrison Ford will be about 16 years old, and they'd spend an hour and a half talking about how he wasn't loved as a child at the start. And then you get 10 minutes of action. You know it's true. Catch Him If You Can. The Fugitive is on the run. Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. He's so good in this. This is peak Tommy Lee. Race through the breathless manhunt movie inspired by the classic TV series. My dad used to tell me about the series. Ford is prison escapee Dr. Richard Kimball, a Chicago surgeon falsely convicted of killing his wife, determined to prove his innocence by leading the pursuers to a one-armed man who committed the crime. Jones is Sam Gerard, an unrelenting bloodhound. As a U.S. Marshal, they're out They are Hunted and Hunter, directed by Andrew Davis. Under Siege, like that's up there with Dad Thrills and one of my favorites. But probably my favorite Seagal film, Under Siege. Their non-stop chase has one exhilarating speed, all out. I didn't even have to tell you anything about it. It's just The Fugitive on Blu-ray. It's a fantastic film. It's an older release Blu-ray. It still looks great. Sounds great. Yep. Damn happy to have it. All right, into the next pile. We're getting a bit more boutique-y now. We start off with some stuff I got in a sale from, who is this? Signal One Entertainment. Now, the sale is still ongoing. The stock's running out. This, to me, feels like a closing down sale. I don't know if they've actually said they're shutting down, but the prices were practically giving them away. And I got a handful of titles for about $8 Australian each, and the postage was, I don't know how they did it from the UK, but anyway, I cleaned up. It's fine. I helped them out, I suppose. Cherry 2000 UK Blu-ray here. Melanie Griffith, Ben Johnson. Never seen this thing. It's one of those. I had a crappy ex-rental DVD on my shelf for so long with a really, really terrible cover, and every time I picked it up, I looked at it and went, "This is a crappy ex-rental, and I really hate the cover." And it just put me off so much, so I never watched it. But that's the original poster, and it's on a Blu-ray. So, sometimes just first impressions, they can do a lot. When recycling technician Sam Treadwell, David Andrews from Fight Club, finds his android lover, the Cherry Model 2000, Pamela Gidley from The Maze, malfunctions during a steamy lovemaking session, okay, he leaves the safety of his everyday life and braves the lawless region of The Zone, that's capitalized, to find a replacement model from a remote warehouse. His guide for this dangerous journey is the renegade tracker E. Johnson, Melanie Griffith, an undeniably real woman. This stylish, unclassifiable film depicts a future in which romance between men and women is dead, and one man's object of desire is a perfectly formed robot. Yeah. And this is 1987. I always thought this was a 90s film. But 1987, there you go. It's got an interview with actor Tim Thomason in it, audio commentary, vintage featurette from 1987. That's pretty good. And otherwise, it's just your standard thing. It's got hard of hearing subtitles, uncompressed audio. That's nice. Just a standard MGM Blu-ray through this company, Signal One, who I'd not really heard of. I'd started seeing some of their things around, so I thought they were a new company, and maybe they are. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. But if you go to Signal One Entertainment right now out of the UK, have a look at what's left. The prices are stupid, and the shipping is good, at least to Australia from the UK. So Cherry 2000, also picked up. Damnation Alley. Always wanted to see this one, never seen it. Had it, I think, on like an old Umbrella Entertainment compilation thing, but it just never happened. I think it was on one of those. The world is devastated by a nuclear holocaust, causing the Earth to tilt on its axis and bring vast meteorological chaos. There you go. As the weather stabilizes, mutated insects start to emerge, preying on survivors. Surviving crew at an US Air Force bomb shelter in the Mojave Desert picks up radio signals coming from the Albany. Commander Major Eugene Denton, the George Peppard from the A-Team, unveils 2 armored vehicles he has constructed and announces a plan to cross the Damnation Alley. 100-mile wide strip between areas of radiation hazard to join survivors. They set off, taking 2 civilians, a novice singer they find in the ruins of Las Vegas, and a wild teenager. What a ramshackle group of people. The journey is beset by giant mutated cockroaches, excellent storms, and crazed survivalists, making some hair-raising escapes in this PA thriller. Giant cockroaches, I'm down for that. Some great shots on the back there of these like just crazy future machines. I mean, it's the same thing there. I should chuck this one earlier rather than later because it looks really good. Got Jean-Michael Vincent in this. Dominic Sander-Paul. Definitely having the Jean-Michael Vincent. There he is back there. That's a good one. He's good. 1977. Okay. And so it's a 2-disc set. This might have been like 10 Australian. I don't know. What is it? A Blu-ray and DVD I never watched, so whatever. But yeah, like they're all spine numbered and they got this uniform thing. Like they felt like that, and it's in that bigger case, right? It feels like they're doing like an indicator or something here. So again, I don't know. Are they a new label? Is it a label that didn't work, or are they just having a really good sale? Don't know. Damnation Alley, very good. In that same, this is number 62. What was that? That was number 30. Number 62 in this range. Death Race 2000. You should ask me, why didn't I already have this? Well, I had a DVD split with Death Sport, and only just now, I think it's really recently got a Death Sport Blu-ray. Um, yeah, that's what sort of enabled me to get rid of that double DVD and keep this. Yes, there was an American Blu-ray of this, but that was a Shout Factory thing, and it came and went, and now is stupid price, so you can't get that anymore. But this one is dirt cheap, and I'd say it's the same transfer. I put it in, I watched it. This film is still such a hoot. It really, really is. It's like this. I don't want to say parody, but it's like a. If you've never seen Death Race, I mean, it's very Roger Corman. It's definitely very 70s Roger Corman. It's got just a lot of sort of black humor, a lot of tongue-in-cheek. The Running Man would have grabbed a lot from this in its tone, and then it made it darker. But in here, it really is its kind of own thing. In the year 2000, hit and run has become the national sport. No holds barred cross-country race, which the aim is to kill off not only your opponents but as many pedestrians as possible. And I'm like, to show you the comedy, if you've never seen this, as our star, which is David Carradine here, our masked driver. He does what a lot of people have always like wondered. They've been driving, they're stuck in traffic, and they've had it in the back of their head. You know you've done it. Driving along, and they go past a hospital, and the hospital says it's Euthanasia Day, and they wheel out all the oldies in the wheelchairs, just pop them in the middle of the road, and he's meant to just plow them down, but instead he takes a beeline around the back and plows down all the nurses. That's the kind of comedy in this thing, but it's action-packed the whole way. It's great fun. Favorite driver, Frankenstein. David Carradine takes on Machine Gun Joe Vertebro, Sylvester Stallone, very early one for him. In this classic adrenaline thriller, the year's events are about to be complicated by the efforts of a small but dedicated army of revolutionaries. They overthrow Mr. President, hinges on the sabotage of the race and the elimination of Frankenstein, but Frankenstein himself is not what he seems. It's a great one from 75, and it's presented well. It's in 185:1. It's got a proper mono PCM track. Solid stuff. You got the reverse where you can get rid of the ratings logo, and yeah, pick it up if you don't. And it's got the proper poster art. So if you don't have it and you want a nice Blu-ray, can't go wrong with this one. Death Race 2000, classic Roger Corman. Also from them, but maybe this is an older release or something because it looks a bit more standard, boring UK Blu-ray. Never seen this, but all of the writing on it says like I've got to see it, and people in it. The 7-Ups. Really keen to check this out. Story of a police elite dirty trick squad that even the regular cops are afraid of. From the producer of Bullet and French Connection. That's when it went in my car. And with what's his name there? Roy Schneider. That was just like, yep, all right, we will pay our $8 Australian to see this film. Tough New York City detective buddy Manucci, Roy Scheider. I said Schneider. That's Rob Schneider, and I fucking hate him. Roy Scheider. Jaws' Last Embrace is what the hell's Last Embrace? He's the guy from Jaws, right? It's just Roy Scheider, Jaws. You don't need anything else. Is the leader of an elite squad of ruthlessly efficient renegade policemen known as the 7-Ups. After an operation goes wrong and one of their own is killed, Buddy and his men verge war on those responsible. Fast-paced thriller from the producer of Bullet and French Connection is presented here in new extensive extra features, including interviews, documentaries, blah, commentary, something. Who directed this thing? Directed by Philip Danton and produced by, I don't know who he is off the name. I probably have seen many of his things. A bunch of featurettes and stuff on the back here, new stuff from sort of 2016 era, introductions, behind the scenes, Super 8 version of the film. That's fun. Original cut down home cinema presentation, Super 8 version. Chuck it on. Probably, what do they go, like 25 minutes or something? They're usually very, very short. Otherwise, 185:1, uncompressed audio, 7-Ups. There you go. I reckon I'll enjoy this one a lot. Roy Scheider, always good. All right, so that's those ones. I think that was all I got from them. Right, so now on to some more American type titles. There's a shop in the city I go to sometimes that gets in import Blu-rays and 4Ks and that kind of stuff. She gets them in. It's called Top 10 Sound and Audio and Video or something like that. Top 10 Sound and Video. Silly little thing. It's a little, literally a hole in the wall place in Chinatown. Most people don't know about it. And all she sells is these imports. And gets them in. Sometimes you pay a premium. Sometimes they work out really well. And this was one of those occasions. Lust for a Vampire. I'm walking past a shop. I stick my head in. And this American Shout Factory Blu-ray is just sitting there. And I'd never seen it. And I didn't have it. Lust for a Vampire. A Hammer film. Never seen it. So, yeah, happy to pick it up.
And you've got your Ralph Bates on this one. It's not a Christopher Lee Dracula. He's doing an impression, but it's not Christopher Lee. Mysterious man performs the rites of black magic, bringing the notorious female vampire Carmilla Karnstein back to life. Looking to quench her bloodlust for the fairer sex, she enrolls in exclusive girls' school as the young debutante Mersala Ute Stensgaard, and begins to feast on her fellow students as well as indulging in her unholy desires for the teacher. When a death toll is mounting at both the school and nearby village, can anyone stop Carmilla's evil ways? And you look at it and you think it's going to be just a Dracula film or something. Like it says Lust for a Vampire, that kind of photo there. It looks like it's going to be a big castles and things, but if they're talking about schoolgirls and knocking them off, okay. Yeah, never seen it, but it certainly sounds very interesting. It's a Hammer. Never seen. It's a nice new 4K scan, original elements. Got two options, 166 to 185 to 1. That's interesting. Not sure which one is correct. Maybe there's like a TV version or in cinema. And a few extra features on here, commentaries, and interview, trailer, radio spots, that kind of thing. So yeah, 1971. Not seen this one. Keen to check it out. Good stuff, yeah. Lust for a Vampire. Next up, we've got a couple of Jess Franco films. If you've watched my previous updates, you know I've sort of dived. I've jumped straight into Franco Town. I was already a fan, but I've just been digging in and just swimming around that cesspool, and been picking up a lot of stuff. A lot of it cheap from friends that were upgrading to newer editions, or just had stopped collecting a certain line. And this is a similar situation where another friend was largely stopping collecting of cult films, and I asked him, "Do you have any Jess Franco left?" And he said, "Yep, got a few." And these two are particularly challenging to get, particularly the second one, but the first one, you might get lucky. This is Two Female Spies with Flowered Panties. Great title. The 2-disc edition, 3,000 only made of that one, which comes with the second film, Opalo de Fugo. Don't know. But yes, this, I'll show you the inside, because you get, there's the Blu-ray of the film, you get a 2017 Severin catalogue, and then you get the DVD of Opalo de Fugo, which I'm presuming is also a Franco, because that would make entire sense, and then you just get a Severin book of that era. So hang on, we'll read from the back of Two Female Spies with Flowered Panties. Great title. From 1980, Jess Franco's insane 70s erotic thriller restored in HD. It says 80 on the back. Okay, in this long unseen shocker from one of film's most provocative creators, the legendary Jess Franco's Vampiros Lesbos pushes the limits of psychosexual insanity like never before. Lena Remey, of course, and Lynn Montiel from Gene Rollins' Zombie Lake and Franco's Satomania star as a pair of cunning bisexual strippers. Yes. Released from prison to work undercover for the US government, what follows is a deranged melange of kinky threesomes, crazed S&M, depraved white slavers, audacious international politics that will leave even the most obsessive Franco fanatics slack-jawed in astonishment. Well, I expect I will be. Olivia Mouthot from Cannibal Terror, Jose Lequentement from Women Behind Bars, and Claude Boisson from Devil Hunter. Co-star in this Euro Sleaze rarity, restored in uncut HD, blah, bonus materials, blah, Franco's archives. Two Cats in the Canaries, interview with director Jess Franco. Filmmaker Donald Farmer interviews longtime Franco composer Daniel White. Stephen Thrower, of course, on Two Female Spies, location outtakes, and theatrical trailer. The back doesn't mention the bonus film. I think all you really know is the sticker there, so I don't know too much about that one. But yeah, really thrilled to have this one. Kind of rare, and in the collection. But the next one was the oh yeah, you sell to me now, because this thing I paid about the price of 2 boutique Blu-rays. You can go out now and buy 2 brand new boutique Blu-rays. That's what I paid for this, and it's worth about 10. Yeah, it was new and sealed, so yeah, stoked. The Mondo Macabro, How to Seduce a Virgin, Countess Perverse, and Sexy Nature 3-movie pack. Rare as rocking horse shit, this thing. Was limited to 1,000. This is number 101. Yeah, and go look on eBay. They're $250 plus for this kind of thing now. So, yeah, I know I'm lucky to have this one, but very happy to have it. Countess Perverse from 75. A pair of decadent, debauched aristocrats turn their private island to a human hunting ground where they stalk their naked prey. The captured flesh is then cooked by the couple and fed to their unsuspecting guests, who themselves become the next victims of this cruel game. Brilliant. The next one is Sexy Nature, which is the XXX version of Countess Perverse. So it's 2 films, but it's 1 film, 2 versions. Extremely Rare Film is an extended reworking of Countess Perverse. Franco was asked by his producer to create a new version of the film. He devised a wraparound story about 2 young girls on holiday and how one of them falls into the clutches of deadly Countess Zaroff. Franco shot 25 minutes of new footage for this version with long sex scenes that include XXX material. Franco. Look, I don't know if I'm going to be throwing that one on first, but I'm going to be checking out Countess Perverse. The other one is How to Seduce a Virgin. Beautiful Countess Martine de Bressac is released from the expensive asylum where she was incarcerated after castrating her former lover. Yeah, they'll do that to you. She returns to her luxurious villa on the coast and goes at once down to her private underground dungeon. In here, she indulges herself in the perverse sexual practices that give her life meaning, surrounded by the bizarre human statues of her previous victims. I mean, that sounds fantastically trash. So that one's from 74. Perverse is from 73. Brand new HD restorations, I mean, when this thing came out. Interview with actor Robert Woods. Interview with, of course, Stephen Throw. Interview with Alain Petit. 12-page booklet, and we'll get into that. A CD soundtrack. So, yeah, you get the Blu-ray there with the 3 films on it. And I don't know, they did it as a thing like this. So you get the CD here, which is Distortions, Blue Phantom. There you go. And a rather naughty booklet. There you go. Can't really show that one. It's got some boobage. But I can't believe I just covered the boobs, but I left the rest. Anyway, we'll pretend that didn't happen. It's a booklet about the 3 films. So there you go. YouTube censors, you didn't see it. Yeah, so I'm stoked to have this triple slice of Franco trash. So there you go. Countess Perverse and Friends. Next up, some of the new Severin titles that came out in August. Was the August run? This was a solid set. This one, Dario Argento's Deep Cuts. This was. I was happy that this one came out because I obviously like Argento. I think most of us watching this really enjoy Argento. And I've way back when, like early 2000s, there was a DVD from a German company called Dragon of the what's the thing called? Door into Darkness, which was 4. I think on that disc it was 3 short, like they're like hour long, 50 minutes or so, TV movies. He directed 1 or 2, and then he had like Luigi Cozzi do another one, and that kind of thing. He did, and Dario does like a little 3-minute intro at the start of them, and it was made for RAI TV and for him to do these little horror films, right? And then I liked them. They're not his best material or the other director's best material, but they're entertaining and they're made for TV. So, I wanted to see him again because I never owned that Dragon DVD. I remember I think I borrowed it. I might have made a dodgy copy or something. But here we are with the North American premiere of that, plus extra stuff. I'll read from the back now. At the peak of his cinematic triumphs, horror legend. Oh, can't speak. Dario Argento created projects for RAI TV or RAI TV, broadcast his singular vision of terror into millions of Italian homes. Door into Darkness, top-rated 1973 anthology series produced and hosted by Argento, including Il Tram, the tram directed by Argento, Il Vicino di Casa, directed by Luigi Cozzi, Testimoni Ocular, co-written by Argento and Cozzi, and 3 of the 4 episodes sourced for the first time for original 16mm negatives. The fourth one was, I think, very hard. I don't think the 4th one was on the Dragon disc from memory. I could be wrong. But if you go, definitely when you're looking at the Letterboxd reviews, people are like, oh, I really want to see that 4th one. So maybe it wasn't. I don't remember which one that was, but really cool. And I watched them all. I think the Tram was probably the best. And I think the Testimoni Ocular was also really good. The other ones might have been the ones that I didn't like as much. But anyway. Then also his 1987 variety talk show Giallo did a talk show called Giallo, represented by the Maestro's own Dario Argento's Nightmares, scanned from recently discovered film elements. Murder mystery segments Night Shift, Turno di Notte, directed by Luigi Cozzi. Le Murder Bava behind-the-scenes tours from Tenebrae, Phenomena, and Opera. Guests that include Anthony Perkins, David Gilmour, Nick Mason, Fior Argento, newly digitized from Broadcast Masters with over 8 hours of special archive features. So this is just like it's just a dump of all of the extra stuff, you know, which is great. So you get four discs in this set. Disc 1's Door into Darkness Part 1, which has audio commentaries on it. And it has this thing called Dario Argento My Cinema, Part 1 and Part 2. Disc 2, Door into Darkness Part 2, also has Dario Argento Master of Horror. We all know that one. That's been doing that. Was on like Palace Explosive VHS range and probably many other releases. I think that was Master of Horror anyway. A Streetcar Named Fear interview with him on the other side of the door, interview with Luigi Cozzi. Disc 3 has Night Shift. On it includes TV Nightmares, interview with producer Dario. Giallo on TV, interview with Luigi. Taxi Drivers, interview with Lamberto Bava. Big Charlie Taxi, interview with screenwriter Dardano Sacchietti. Calypso 9, interview with actress Antonella Vital. And then Disc 4, Dario Argento's Nightmares with Giallo Argento. It's 100 minutes itself. So this thing is just jam-packed. You can't argue for what you get in terms of quantity. Door to Darkness Part 1, Part 2, just want to turn around. Night Shift and Nightmare. So like it's not a fancy set with booklets and stuff, but it's just like it is essentially like you could have had like, you know, I would imagine if Severin had, just say they had Deep Red in their catalog, they might have taken disc 1 of this and made it the bonus feature disc of Deep Red, something like that, right? It's just like a bunch of bonus feature discs all chucked together. I think it's great. Deep cuts, definitely recommend it, and it's not expensive, so good. This movie, when I first saw it, I was completely blown away, and it entered into, let's say, at least my top 30 films of all time. We might go with that. Never really ranked into the 30s. Does it make the 20s? I don't know. I don't want to get into that, but it is a sensational film, and I've inflicted it on people, and they've all enjoyed it. I had the Code Red Blu-ray under a different title, and look, I'm just happy for this this upgrade because I was even like, oh, do I need an upgrade? The Code Red Blue is fantastic. I'm like, no, have to get it. The Mad Bomber, so good. I mean, I had to get it because it's got the proper title. The Code Red was called The Police Connection. This is the poster, embossed slipcover under the Mad Bomber. New scan, so good. I like the drawing there on the back. But I'll take off the slip. Another poster there, Mad Bomber, great. I'll read from the back. If you've not seen this one, because this film is just top quality 1970s cinema. Best known for his giant monster movies like The Amazing Colossal Man, Attack of the Puppet People, Empire of the Ants. Writer, producer, director Bert I. Gordon took a sharp right turn in the 70s urban perversion with this remarkably politically incorrect crime shocker. A psycho citizen, Chuck Connors, is so good in this. Of the rifleman, and Tourist Trap is planting deadly bombs across LA. At the same time, a depraved rapist, Neville Brand, from Birdmen of Alcatraz and Eaten Alive, is the only witness who can identify him. A deranged detective, Vince Edwards, I wouldn't say he's deranged, he's just committed, takes no bullshit. Vince Edwards of Ben Casey and Return to Horror High will break every rule in the book to bust them both. Also known in various censored versions, Police Connection, Detective Geronimo, dynamite mix of grit and sleaze, now scanned in 4K from the internet for the first time with 6 hours of explosive special features. Of course I had to get it. I haven't checked this version out yet, the new transfer, because I had only just inflicted Police Connection on one of my friends maybe 2 months before. But it's so good, I might just chuck it on again soon. Like this, like when they made Falling Down, they must have watched this a million times because there is so much falling down in this. It's your regular guy with his backstory that set him on this path of just, I hate you all, and that's it. That's what it is. That's Chuck Connors. At the same time, you've got a rapist that's just being nasty, and then you got the tough cop trying to catch them both, and he uses one to catch the other, and it's just great. It is so good. Audio commentary by House of Psychotic Women author Kiela Janice with retired bomb squad detective Mike Digby. That'd be interesting. Isolated score, audio interview with director Burt I. Gordon, conducted by David Del Val. Patricia Gordon remembers her father to be in the moment, interview with actress Cynthia McAdams. The Trail of the Mad Bomber locations featurette. That'd be interesting. Mad Bomber TV cut. TV spots, Mad Bomber story essay by Andy Turner with exclusive images, etc. from 1972. Such a good film. Look at... so he's just got that look. There's the disc. There's the book. Mad Bomber story by Andy Turner. There you go. Yeah, some great stuff. I'll give this one a good read. Not too long, just enough to read while you're watching. Man, yeah, I love this thing. Mad Bomber. If you've not seen it, this is the one you want to get. If you have seen it, this is the one you want to get. Mad Bomber, it will blow your mind, from Severin. Awesome stuff. Pick it up. And in the same batch, this is one of those, man, when it rains it pours batches. And a tick, we have a release. Another Japanese VHS, off to the wayside. 2020, Texas Gladiators. Post-apoc Italian spaghetti nonsense. Pasta-poc, I should say. Yeah, we have it. Is it one of the best? No, it's actually kind of silly, but I enjoy it. I rewatched it and enjoyed it again. Still got the same review. I think I gave it 3 out of 5. Like, it's just never going to break that. It's very sleazy. It's also kind of nonsensical. But it's fun. There's the proper cover. Kind of do wish that was the front, because that's how I've known it. This is cool, but that's how I've always known it. So yeah, it's a 4K. Did I mention that? Not that I care. I just play the Blu-ray, but yeah, they went all out. That'll be 4K edition. Italian post-apocalyptic movies go. Joe D'Amato serves up exactly what you want. Yeah, I'd say there's room for improvement, but it is a really good one. It's good fun. The most elusive, requested, unapologetically unhinged penne post-apocalyptic. I'm just going with pasta apocalyptic. All these Italian jokes. So funny. Pizza apocalyptic. Anyway, epic of all time is finally available, uncut, uncensored on disc for the first time ever. Yeah, it's only really had like probably a dodgy German grey market disc that was from a VHS anyway. And then, yeah, the Japanese VHS, which was in widescreen, that was about the best you could get. Uncut, uncensored on disc for the first time ever, from Italio Sleaze Maestro Joe D'Amato, comes this insane, entertaining saga of graphic violence, rampant nudity, unholy mutants, big explosions, fascist rhetoric, motorcycle mayhem, saloon brawls, Indian attacks, and plenty of lawless Lone Star depravity. As I said, it's a kitchen sink. There's so much stuff going on here. The whole time, it doesn't really feel post-apocalyptic. It just feels like this town's fucked. That's what I get from this thing. But, you know, it's got George Eastman in it, so of course it's post-apocalyptic. And it's written by him, and it's a little bit nonsensical. Assistant directed by Michelle Soavi. I've never quite worked that out. Is it Michelle? Or is it Michelle? I don't know. From Cemetery Man, Al Cliver, Endgame, Peter Hooton, Night Killer, Sabrina Ciani, White Cannibal Queen, Gerarda, Rats, Donald O'Brien, Dr. Butcher. I mean, this is just all of them. Great. Star in this very definition of a guilty pleasure, the now scanned in 4K from the OCN, with new and archival special features, plus the soundtrack by shocking dark composer Carlo Maria Cordio. It's got a great soundtrack. Disc 1, UHD, and a trailer. Disc 2, Blu-ray, Shoot Me the Real Story of Italian Texas Gladiators. Interviews with Joe D'Amato, with Soavi, screenwriter Luigi Montefiore, actor Al Cliver, Gladiator Gerarda, interview with actress Gerarda. Disc 3, a friggin' soundtrack. So, yeah. There's your 4K and your Blue and your soundtrack CD. Everything you need for this very silly film. Yeah, look at that. Oh, so good. The French one? That's the French artwork? Yeah. Maybe it's Spanish. That's the Spanish one. The Japanese VHS has kind of got that artwork. So, yeah. Chapter card. Is it reversible? Yeah, it is reversible. Let's have a look at that. I don't know what that edition is. It feels like VHS to me. Yeah, the back looks very much just a scan from the VHS. So, yeah, awesome. 2020 Freedom Fighters. Good artwork on that. But for me, it has always been known as 2020 Texas Gladiators with that ridiculously good artwork. But the slipcover is good too. So, again, thank you, Severin. Like I said, not my top 10 of these films. but it'll be in the top 20. And there you go, 2020 Texas Gladiators. All right, we're going across to Indonesia yet again, and Mondo Macabro again doing the Lord's work. The Warrior trilogy. People banging on about this one for years. So the Warrior, they did the DVD. Mondo did the DVD like a decade ago, and the other two films never had anything, as far as I know. Honestly, I didn't even realize there were three. To be actually honest, when I saw this, I'm like, Warrior collection. Oh shit, we've got the Warrior and the Ninja, the Warrior and the Blind Swordsman. Bang for buck, great little slip. There you go. Jump in, take a look. There's the Warrior artwork again. And I think I've got to flip it. Yeah, okay, so it's a. I can't be bothered doing that. But the summary for the other two films, you've got to flip the cover. I might just show the cover. Anyway, this is Barry Prima is the Warrior. He stars in this thing. Directed by Siswaro Gautama Putra in 1981, Indonesia. Presented in Scope, wonderful. Witchcraft and Black Magic versus Mystical Martial Arts. Outrageously entertaining fantasy flick stars Indonesian action hero Barry Prima. He plays Jaka Semberg, a kind of Robin Hood figure who possesses mystical powers. As a leader of his country's rebellion against the oppressive Dutch colonialists, Jaka Semberg is captured, tortured, left for dead. He returns, even more powerful than before. In desperation, the invaders resurrect an evil wizard, set him against Jaka Semberg in a fierce fight to death. Packed with jaw-dropping action scenes, astonishing special effects, The Warrior is the ultimate cult classic. First Blu-ray release of the film in the US is fully remastered, completely uncut. So that's just awesome. There's some special features and stuff. And yeah, so you get discs. Warrior disc 1, disc 2. I don't know why they did that. I don't know. I would have if this is the Warrior and this is two other films, I would have written the name of the films there. But hey, who cares? Booklet, Diger and the Warriors. Yeah, oh, that's the poster. Nice. A few other things. Nice. Oh, look at that Ghana artwork. That's just sensationally awful. Yep, stuff about films. Now I'll just quickly flip it so you can see. I got version 243 of 1500. There you go. There's the other two films. And there's stuff there about them, but I really can't be bothered reading it. But they're from 83 and 85, and Barry is in all three of them. So there you go. Nice little collection here, the Warrior collection. From Rappy Films, such an unfortunately titled company. But yeah, stoked to have it. Stoked to even know that there are two other films. And great stuff there from Mondo, the Warrior collection. Next up, I wanted to get some of these Discotheque, that's the name of the company, Asian releases, and need to get some more pinky violence into my collection. And I got, and just watched a couple of days ago, Terrifying Girls High School Animal Classmates. I think there's 3 Terrifying Girls High School films. I think that's the case. This is a kitchen sink thing. It feels almost very Hong Kong, except for it's Japanese. Read from the back. These things, it looks like a steelbook, but if they're slips, they're just strange round cutout ones. That's what Discotheque do. Regular case under it. So they're not entirely necessary, but you know, okay. I guess this is cool because you're not going to get dented corners, are you? Maybe that was why they did it. At Saiwa Academy for Girls, the surface is all prestige with an impressive study abroad program, top-notch sports department. However, beneath the veneer of excellence lies the dangerous, corrupt Black Roses society who rule the school with an iron fist. Arrival of 5 transfer students, Masami, Masai, Shizuko, Kazui, and Aikai, sets off a cultural clash between female juvenile delinquents, sadistic jocks, perverted faculty members. Masami, Masai, Shizuko quickly fall in line with the bad crowd. Kazu tries to play it safe and earn a scholarship to study abroad. Akai, a lone wolf and skilled fencer, refuses to tolerate unfair play. In the jungle of a school, the newcomers must navigate the treacherous terrain and fierce classmates. Who will come out on top? Who will be devoured by the pack? The film is not for the faint of heart. First time on Blu-ray anywhere. Original Japanese language and English subs. And yeah, it's a load of fun, and it really is a kitchen sink. It starts off like some kind of... It feels like a Hong Kong comedy. I know it's Japanese, but it's got a lot of that the slapstick stuff in the start. Then it just gets into just lots of boobs and shower scenes. And then there's like sword fights and almost Yakuza kind of stuff going on. And yeah, some bloody violence. It's all over the map. Proper pinky violence. Very enjoyable. And I don't know what the doesn't say anything about like a new scan or whatever. It looks authentic. It looks 70s. It looks like a Godzilla film or something. It's Toei production. It's got that saturation color in there. Like, so I don't know if this is like they've gone and got crispy negatives and scanned it in again. It feels like they might have had someone else do a HD master from whatever was laying around. It looks fine. It's great. It's the best you're going to get. There's no complaints. It's just don't expect, I don't know, just a Criterion or anything like that. It's in Japanese, linear PCM with English subs. One movie, one disc. I don't think there's any extras. But whatever, it's good fun. I enjoyed this one. Animal Classmates. And the next two upgrades from long out of print Umbrella DVDs. We have Sex and Fury and Female Yakuza Tale. One's a sequel. I don't remember which one's which. I think it's the sequel. Anyway, we will quickly read from the back. Sex and Fury, we'll start with this one. Year is 1905. Powerful players from across the globe are vying for piece of the pie in Japan's booming industrial revolution. None of them can ever hope to gamble like Oko Inoshika, a petty thief, who returns home to fulfill a man's dying wish. In the process, she discovers that nations would-be leaders have something they're looking to cover up: her father's murder. Now that all major players are seated around the poker table, eventual Oko lies in wait with a killer hand up her sleeve. There you go. The righteous Reiko Aike, who's in the female Yakuza film, stars in this visceral and lust-filled slice of pinky violence featuring Swedish glamour model Christina Lindberg. Hello. From Thriller, director Norifumi Suzuki, who did School of the Holy Beast, Naked Ambition, dominates the screen in a stunning new transfer of Oko Inoshika's first Rampage, laid bare in high definition with Japanese language English subtitles. So that sounds like it's the first one. It's been a long time since I saw those DVDs. Female Yakuza Tale. Inquisition and Torture is an anarchistic apex in the career of Japanese cult director Teruo Ishii. 50-year resume includes Horror of Malformed Men and Bohashi Bushido. Don't know that second one. Notoriously lacking restraint, sexy pinky violent star Riko Aike returns in this Gonzo sequel. Good, I got this in the sequel. To Sex and Fury, following the further exploits of Osho. A thief and gambler returning afoul of evil Yakuza in Meiji-era Tokyo. Aided by lone wolf adventurer Ryohei Uchida, Osho investigates a ruthless gang of cutthroats who are using indentured prostitutes. What? Indentured, not indented. Indentured prostitutes as drug mules to smuggle heroin from China. Director Ishii throws everything but the kitchen sink into this mind-altering sexploitation action saga, culminating in bloody mobster masterpiece replete with sultry swordsmen, full of intoxicating mayhem, uproarious kabuki striptease antics, female Yakuza Tale. Inquisition and Torture is a freak-out filmmaking at its finest. I'm really keen to check both of these out again, and we'll watch them in order. So, nothing to really show inside, I don't think. Oh, we do have different cover. Let's do that. Yeah, there's I cover that. There you go. Poster art, I guess, there for Sex and Fury. And this one is Female Yakuza Tale, not as exciting. And they're just, single disc, nothing too exciting in there. No listed extras or anything, and I don't really care. I've always said I don't really care. Extras are just extras. I just want the films. I want them nicely presented. So, Pinky Violence. Last up, one box set. Really enjoying these box sets from Severin. This is Danza Macabre Volume 3, the Spanish Gothic Collection. They're just so nicely done. They're great picks. They're things I've never seen, often never heard of, but they're just entertaining. Only so far, the films are Necrophagus, which I've watched, Cake of Blood, Cross of the Devil, The Night of the Walking Dead. So Necrophagus I've watched. I'll read from the box back and then we'll get discs out. Spain's tradition of Gothic horror, particularly during the Franco dictatorship, not that Franco, was characterized by daring concepts, lush visuals, extreme sexuality, and a startling aesthetic all its own. These four classic shockers from the 70s represent the genre at its most audacious. In Necrophagus, the debut by writer-director Miguel Madrid, fractured family in a crumbling castle conceals a grisly graveyard secret. Anthology film Cake of Blood, never previously available outside of Spain, presents a quartet of supernatural tales by four young filmmakers. Hammer Films director John Gilling brings his inimitable style to the occult thriller Cross of the Devil. Sounds very Hammer, doesn't it? and a terminally ill woman is enticed by eternal life in Leon Klimovsky's vampire masterwork, The Night of the Walking Dead. Each film has been scanned from original negative, 8 hours of special features, first time ever in America. Just stunning. Let's have a look. The covers of some of these are fantastic. So, first up, Necrophagus. Love that cover. A bit of a slow burn, but it was entertaining. I enjoyed this one. I think I've read enough of the summary, so I'm not going to get into it. Again, I'll just show you that's the cover. And features, commentary, a appreciation by Angel Sala, head of programming and stuff. Sitges Film Festival. First horror film festival in the world Remembrance by Maria Pilar Rafales, daughter of Sitges Film Festival founder Antonio Rafales, and trailers. That's in English and in Spanish. 87 minutes. Necrophagus. As I said, I enjoyed it. Anthology, Cake of Blood. What a great poster. Great artwork on that. Restored Uncut. And in Spanish with English subs. 1971 film. Audio commentary. My Generation interview with Marisa Paredes. Interview with co-director Jane Chavari. Interview with actor Jose Lefante, and Art House UFO Appreciation by Angela Sala, head of programming at that festival. There you go. You just get the disc. Cake of Blood. Next up, Night of the Walking Dead. That's so utterly hammer looking. 75 English or Spanish with optional subs. And it's got best known for collaborations with Spanish horror director star Jacinta Milani and Paul Nashi, Argentinian director Leon Konopsky. That's his thing here. In a magnificent 70s slice of finest vampire. Commentary with Kat Ellinger from Daughters of Darkness, author of Daughters of Darkness. Deadly Invitation to Another Dimension, appreciation again by Angela Sala. Leo's Signature, interview with writer-director Juan Jose Porto. Interview with actor Jose Lefante. Spain's Cinematic Vampires, video essay by Xavier Atlanta Reyes, author of Spanish Gothic, National Identity, Collaboration and Cultural Adaptation, and Spanish Credits Sequence. So there you go. That's that one. And lastly, Cross of the Devil. Great artwork again. I'm loving the artwork on these things. They feel that they're all new to me. Wonder who did them. They look familiar. Yeah, this one looking a little bit Knights Templar to me, honestly. It even says it there. Yeah, I'll read a little bit. Early 70s Spanish horror icon Jacinto Molina Paul Nashi wrote a screenplay for a Knights Templar film to complete the popular Brian Dead series, but at the same time Hammer Films director John Gilling, whose hits for the UK studio included The Plague of the Zombies and the Reptile, had retired to Spain, shared his script with Gilling, who took over the project without Molina. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. They left out Nashi. The rarely seen result is a sumptuous tale of supernatural horror in which writer Ramiro Oliveras of the Pajama Girl case, plagued by violent nightmares, investigates the murder of assisted by an ancient occult order. Sounds like a laugh to me, this one. Commentary, Kim Newman. Always like his stuff. Fans fascinated by Becure. Interview with screenwriter Juan Jose Porto. The Real Templar Knights movie. Appreciation by Angela Sala. Fantasy and Imagination, Legacy of Gustavo Adolfo Becquer. Yeah, that's your lot. There you go. Ooh, disc. So, another great little set there from these guys. Cross the Devil, Night of the Walking Dead, Cake of Blood, and Necrophagus. Gonna dig into those other three soon. But another great set there. Danza Macabre, Volume 3, Spanish Gothic collection from Severin Films. Definitely check it out. And that's this update. I wonder what length this got to. It does feel longer than I said it was going to be, but hey, here we are. It happens every time. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, check out this thing, and I'll see you all next time.